Imagine a queen so powerful, her story changed history. But who was the real Cleopatra? Cleopatra wasn't just known for her beauty, she was a fearless leader, a strategist, and a queen fighting to keep Egypt strong. In this series, we'll dive into every part of her life, from her rise to power, her battles with Rome, to her final moments. We're going beyond the myths to uncover the true story of Cleopatra. Join us on this journey, chapter by chapter, as we reveal the life of Egypt's last and most legendary queen. Subscribe and don't miss out on her incredible story. In the 4th century BCE, Alexander the Great's generals took control of Egypt, marking the beginning of the Ptolemaic dynasty. This dynasty lasted nearly 300 years and became a powerful force in the ancient world. The Ptolemies blended Greek and Egyptian cultures, making Alexandria, their capital, a center of learning, art, and trade. This vibrant city attracted scholars, poets, and philosophers, turning Egypt into a beacon of knowledge and culture. Cleopatra was born in 69 BCE into this world of power and prestige. As a child of the Ptolemaic dynasty, she was expected to embody the strength and intelligence of her ancestors. From a young age, she showed a keen mind and an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Her education was extensive and rigorous. She studied various subjects, including philosophy, mathematics, astronomy, and even medicine. Cleopatra was not just learning facts, she was being prepared to rule and to engage with the political complexities of her time. One of the most remarkable aspects of Cleopatra's education was her linguistic ability. She learned to speak multiple languages, including Egyptian, Greek, and Aramaic. This skill allowed her to communicate with diverse groups of people, both within Egypt and beyond its borders. Her ability to connect with her subjects and foreign dignitaries would become a crucial asset in her future reign. However, Cleopatra's early life was not just filled with education and privilege. She grew up in a family marked by fierce rivalries and power struggles. The Ptolemaic dynasty was notorious for its internal conflicts, where ambition often led to betrayal. Cleopatra had siblings who were constantly fighting for control, and she witnessed the ruthless nature of their quest for power. Her father, Ptolemy XII, faced significant challenges during his reign, and this instability trickled down to Cleopatra as she observed her family's struggles. These family dynamics deeply impacted Cleopatra. She learned the importance of strategy and cunning from a young age. She saw how quickly fortunes could change and how those closest to you could become your greatest enemies. Instead of being frightened by these conflicts, Cleopatra became determined to carve out her own destiny. She understood that to survive and thrive, she needed to be both clever and bold. As she approached her teenage years, Cleopatra began to understand her unique position within the family and the kingdom. She realized that she was not just a pawn in the game of politics. She was a player with the potential to influence the future of Egypt. Her upbringing, marked by a blend of privilege and peril, prepared her for the incredible journey ahead. By the time she reached her late teens, Cleopatra was not just a well-educated young woman, she was a fierce and capable individual, ready to take on the challenges of her time. Her early life, rich in learning and fraught with family turmoil, laid the groundwork for her remarkable rise to power. Cleopatra was on the brink of becoming one of history's most famous queens, and her story was just beginning. In 51 BCE, Cleopatra became Queen of Egypt following the death of her father, Ptolemy XII. According to Egyptian custom, she shared the throne with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, who was just a child at the time. Joint rule was common in the Ptolemaic dynasty, and Cleopatra, being older and more experienced, took on a significant role in governance. She was determined to guide her brother and protect Egypt's interests while maintaining the power of the throne. Cleopatra quickly became a strong leader, known for her intelligence and charm. She worked hard to strengthen Egypt's economy and improve its relationships with neighboring countries. However, her reign was not without challenges. Ptolemy XIII's advisors, feeling threatened by Cleopatra's influence, began to plot against her. They believed that her strong personality and intelligence could overshadow the young king. As tensions rose, the advisors sowed distrust between Cleopatra and her brother. They painted her as a threat to the throne, convincing Ptolemy that he needed to act against her. In 49 BCE, this culminated in betrayal. With the support of his advisors, Ptolemy XIII ordered Cleopatra to leave the palace. She was forced into exile, stripped of her power and title, and sent away from the very land she loved. This betrayal was a devastating blow for Cleopatra. She had dedicated herself to ruling Egypt and had worked tirelessly for her people. Being cast out was not just a personal loss, it was a blow to her ambitions and dreams. Yet, Cleopatra was not one to give up easily. Instead of retreating into despair, she began to plot her return to power. She knew that to reclaim her throne, she would need allies and a clever plan. During her exile, Cleopatra sought support from key figures who shared her vision for Egypt. She understood that to regain her place, she must not only win back her brother's trust, but also prove herself as a capable leader who could unite the kingdom. Cleopatra's journey was just beginning, and she was determined to fight for her rightful place on the throne. In 48 BCE, Cleopatra made a dramatic return to power in Alexandria. After being exiled by her brother, she was determined to reclaim her throne. To catch the attention of Julius Caesar, the powerful Roman leader, Cleopatra devised a clever plan. She famously entered the palace hidden inside a rolled-up rug, a stunning entrance that would capture Caesar's interest and spark a powerful alliance. Her bold move worked. Cleopatra impressed Caesar with her intelligence, charm, and determination. They quickly formed a strong partnership that would change the course of history. Cleopatra saw in Caesar not just a powerful ally, but also a man who could help solidify her reign as queen. Together, they worked to restore her power in Egypt and defeat those who had betrayed her. With Caesar's support, she regained control and was able to push back against her brother's advisors. This partnership was not just political, it was also personal. Cleopatra and Caesar became lovers, and their bond grew stronger as they faced challenges together. Caesar's support not only secured Cleopatra's position as queen, but also helped her gain respect in a male-dominated world. She showed her people that she could be a powerful leader and a skilled diplomat. In 47 BCE, Cleopatra made a significant journey to Rome with Caesar. This visit marked a turning point for both of them. In the heart of the Roman Empire, she showcased Egypt's wealth and culture. Cleopatra became a captivating figure in Rome, drawing attention and admiration from the citizens and the Senate alike. Her presence symbolized a powerful connection between Egypt and Rome. During her time in Rome, Cleopatra gave birth to a son named Caesarion. This child was seen as a potential bridge between the two great powers. Cleopatra hoped that Caesarion would unite Egypt and Rome, bringing stability and peace. However, the birth of Caesarion also marked a turning point in her life. As much as she loved her son, Cleopatra knew that her relationship with Caesar would soon face challenges. Her time in Rome solidified her influence, but it also revealed the dangers of her alliance. As Caesar's political enemies grew stronger, Cleopatra had to navigate the complexities of Roman politics carefully. She was not just a queen of Egypt. She was now a player in a larger game that involved powerful leaders and shifting alliances. Despite the challenges ahead, Cleopatra's alliance with Julius Caesar was a defining moment in her life. It marked her return to power and opened new doors for her reign. Together, they dreamed of a future where Egypt and Rome could thrive side by side, and Cleopatra was ready to fight for that future. If you're enjoying this content, please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Don't forget to like and comment below. Even with her strong alliance with Julius Caesar, trouble was brewing in Rome. As Caesar gained more power, many senators worried that he would threaten the Republic. Rumors of plots filled the Senate, and some of Caesar's reforms upset his former supporters. Cleopatra, aware of the tense political situation, hoped their shared vision for Egypt and Rome would succeed. On the Ides of March in 44 BCE, the conspirators acted. Led by Brutus and Cassius, they assassinated Caesar in the Senate, believing they could save the Republic by removing what they saw as a threat. The news of his death reached Cleopatra, changing her life forever. After Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE, Cleopatra returned to Egypt as a strong leader. She faced many challenges but was determined to stabilize her kingdom and improve the lives of her people. Cleopatra introduced several policies to strengthen Egypt's economy and social structure. She focused on farming reforms, knowing that a strong economy depended on the land. Cleopatra encouraged the growing of crops and worked to improve irrigation systems. By investing in agriculture, she aimed to ensure that Egypt could feed its people and maintain its wealth. She also promoted trade, building strong relationships with neighboring countries to bring in resources and goods. Cleopatra wanted Egypt to prosper, and her policies aimed to create a stable and successful society. Improving her people's lives was also important to Cleopatra. She addressed issues like education and healthcare. She set up schools and supported the arts, believing that a well-educated population would make a stronger nation. Cleopatra wanted to unite her people and inspire pride in their Egyptian identity. As she ruled, Cleopatra recognized her religious role. She honored the goddess Isis, one of the most important gods in Egyptian mythology. Cleopatra presented herself as the living image of Isis, symbolizing fertility, motherhood, and wisdom. This connection to the goddess not only boosted her status as queen, but also made her more legitimate in the eyes of her people. To further strengthen her rule, Cleopatra blended Egyptian and Greek cultures. She promoted the arts and encouraged a mix of Greek and Egyptian traditions, creating a unique cultural identity. This combination helped her appeal to both her Egyptian subjects and the Greek elite. Cleopatra was not just a ruler, she was a bridge between two worlds, showing the beauty of both cultures. Through her policies and religious symbols, Cleopatra worked hard to stabilize Egypt during a time of uncertainty. Her reign focused on unity and prosperity as she aimed to uplift her people and protect her kingdom. Cleopatra's ability to adapt and innovate made her a remarkable ruler, and her legacy would be remembered throughout history. After Julius Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE, Rome was plunged into chaos. The power struggle between his supporters and enemies led to conflict and uncertainty. In this turbulent atmosphere, Cleopatra sought to secure her position in Egypt and protect her kingdom. She saw an opportunity in Mark Antony, one of Caesar's loyal generals, who was eager to gain strength in the East. Cleopatra's connection with Antony began in 41 BCE, when he arrived in Egypt seeking an ally. The two quickly formed a powerful bond, both romantically and politically. Cleopatra understood that a partnership with Antony could help stabilize her reign and strengthen Egypt's position in the Roman world. Their alliance was not just about love, it was a strategic move that could reshape the political landscape of the Mediterranean. Antony and Cleopatra became a legendary couple, captivating the hearts and minds of people across the empire. Together, they shared grand visions for the future. Antony saw Cleopatra as a key ally in his plans to expand Roman influence in the East, while Cleopatra viewed him as a protector of her throne. Their partnership symbolized a union of power, ambition, and desire, but it also stirred controversy in Rome. As their alliance deepened, Antony began to grant territories to Cleopatra's children, further intertwining their fates. This act, known as the Donations of Alexandria, was significant. It included the allocation of lands in the eastern Mediterranean to Cleopatra and her offspring. By doing this, Antony not only acknowledged Cleopatra's influence, but also strengthened Egypt's position in the region. However, these decisions angered many in Rome. The Roman elite viewed Cleopatra as a foreign queen who threatened their power. They were concerned about Antony's growing ties with her and feared that he was becoming too close to Egypt. This tension created a divide, with supporters of Antony facing increasing opposition from those who wanted to maintain Roman dominance. As the political situation escalated, Cleopatra found herself at the center of a brewing storm. She was seen as both a powerful queen and a formidable opponent by her enemies in Rome. The alliance with Antony brought her prestige and influence, but it also placed her in the crosshairs of political rivalries and ambitions. Antony and Cleopatra's partnership was a turning point in their lives and in history. Together, they dreamed of a new world, one where their united forces could dominate the Mediterranean. However, the growing tensions in Rome would soon lead to a fierce confrontation, testing their love and ambition in ways they never imagined. As the alliance between Cleopatra and Mark Antony grew stronger, so did the tensions with Octavian, Julius Caesar's adopted heir. Octavian saw Cleopatra as a direct threat to Roman stability and power. Using clever propaganda, he painted her as a manipulative queen who aimed to dominate Rome through Antony. His messages spread throughout the empire, inciting fear and anger against Cleopatra. In 31 BCE, the conflict reached a boiling point at the Battle of Actium, a crucial naval engagement that would change the fate of both Cleopatra and Antony. Octavian's forces, led by his trusted General Agrippa, faced off against Cleopatra and Antony's fleet. The battle was fierce and intense, with both sides fighting for control of the Mediterranean. Cleopatra played a significant role in the battle, commanding a portion of the fleet. However, the situation quickly turned dire. Antony's forces struggled against the well-organized Roman fleet. As the battle raged on, Cleopatra made a fateful decision. Seeing that defeat was imminent, she and her ships retreated from the fight. This move shocked many and was seen as a betrayal by Antony's soldiers, who believed in their cause. The naval defeat at Actium was devastating for Cleopatra and Antony. It marked the beginning of their downfall and signaled a shift in power. With Octavian emerging victorious, the political landscape of the Roman world was forever altered. After the battle, Cleopatra and Antony returned to Egypt, seeking refuge and a chance to regroup. In the aftermath, Cleopatra faced immense challenges in defending her rule in Alexandria. She knew that Octavian would come for her next. Determined not to give up, she prepared her defenses, rallying her supporters and seeking to inspire loyalty among her people. Cleopatra hoped to strengthen her position, but the shadow of Octavian loomed larger with each passing day. The final conflict with Rome was a test of Cleopatra's resilience and determination. As she faced the realities of her situation, she understood that the battle for her kingdom was far from over. With the weight of her decisions pressing down on her, Cleopatra remained steadfast in her resolve to protect her reign, even as the tides of history turned against her. In the last days of her life, Cleopatra found herself in a desperate situation. After the defeat at the Battle of Actium and the growing power of Octavian, she knew that her reign in Egypt was hanging by a thread. As Octavian's forces approached Alexandria, Cleopatra engaged in negotiations with him, hoping to secure a favorable outcome for her people and her children. She was a master of diplomacy, using her intelligence and charm in these final discussions. However, while Cleopatra was strategizing, her partner Mark Antony faced a tragic fate. They had agreed to take their lives if they were captured, and when Antony believed that Cleopatra was dead, he chose to end his own life. This devastating news shattered Cleopatra's heart. Antony's death was not merely a personal loss, it signified the end of their shared dreams for a united future. Cleopatra was left alone to face the reality of her situation, with the weight of her kingdom on her shoulders. Feeling the noose of defeat tightening around her, Cleopatra prepared for her final act. In a dramatic turn of events, she chose to end her life rather than be captured by Octavian. According to legend, she took her own life by allowing a venomous asp to bite her. This bold and tragic decision became one of the most famous stories in history, symbolizing her strength and defiance even in death. Cleopatra's end was a powerful statement. She would not be a pawn in someone else's game. With Cleopatra's death in 30 BCE, the fate of Egypt was sealed. Octavian, now the uncontested leader of Rome, moved swiftly to annex Egypt, marking the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the independence of one of the world's greatest civilizations. The once mighty kingdom, known for its rich culture and powerful rulers, fell under Roman control. Cleopatra's passing was not just a personal tragedy, but a historical turning point. The legacy of her reign and her unique character would live on, but the dream of an independent Egypt was extinguished. The annexation of Egypt marked a new era, one dominated by Rome, where the ancient traditions of Egypt would be forever changed. Cleopatra's life and death symbolized the struggle for power, love, and identity in a world where great empires clashed. Cleopatra's story did not end with her death. In fact, her immediate impact was felt across the Roman Empire and beyond. Octavian, her greatest rival, used powerful propaganda to shape her image in a way that suited his ambitions. He portrayed Cleopatra as a dangerous seductress, a threat to Roman values and stability. This negative portrayal helped solidify his power, but it also distorted Cleopatra's true legacy, painting her in a light that has lingered for centuries. Despite the attempts to diminish her reputation, Cleopatra became a symbol of female power and intellect. Her intelligence, political savvy, and ability to navigate a male-dominated world captured the imaginations of people throughout history. From ancient texts to modern films, her story resonates with themes of love, ambition, and tragedy. Cleopatra's life inspires countless interpretations, showing that her influence extends far beyond her time. In reflecting on Cleopatra's place in history, we see her not just as a queen, but as a ruler who fiercely fought for Egypt's independence and unity. She navigated complex political landscapes, forming alliances and confronting powerful foes. Cleopatra was a strong leader who sought to protect her kingdom and preserve its legacy. Her determination and resilience continue to inspire those who seek to challenge the status quo. Ultimately, Cleopatra remains a powerful figure in history, a ruler who defied expectations, shaped her own destiny, and left an indelible mark on the world. Her story reminds us that even in the face of adversity, the fight for identity and independence is a powerful narrative, one that continues to resonate with audiences today. Cleopatra's enduring influence speaks to the strength of women throughout history and the legacies they leave behind. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to ring the bell to stay updated on our latest content.